Manga fans are usually pretty jazzed when their favorite manga gets an anime adaptation. An anime adaptation can allow us to see our favorite scenes in a new way through movement, music, and voice acting. Sometimes elevating scenes, but at the very least allowing us to experience our favorite stories again, but through a new lens. Sometimes though, it can leave manga fans disappointed and honestly bewildered on how we went from this to this. Sometimes a bad adaptation can be boiled down to just simply animators having limited time, or anime directors having a completely different vision from the original author. I have a lot of faith in the Dandadan anime though, from what I've seen thus far, but I'm curious. Who are the people who are leading the animation staff at Science SARU on this next project? What have they worked on in the past, and how those experiences may translate to Dandadan? It's obvious, but some things in manga don't translate as easily to anime. One major issue adaptations face is pacing. Whether it be rushing through a chapter, taking too much time on scenes that don't matter, or skipping certain moments entirely. But sometimes rushing, slowing down, or cutting out scenes does benefit a new adaptation. Series composition is the task of the scriptwriter. They decide how to pace all the major events alongside the director, and perhaps rearranging events too. For example, perhaps the first page of Dandadan wouldn't make a great first second, and maybe the 27th page of chapter 1 should happen sooner than the 27th minute. Considering most episodes of anime are 23 minutes, it would kinda suck if we don't reach this moment in episode 1. The scriptwriter and the person responsible for these decisions for Dandadan's adaptation is Seiko Hiroshi. Seiko Hiroshi has worked on series composition for many big shonen anime such as Jujutsu Kaisen, Attack on Titan, Mob Psycho, Vinland Saga, and some of my favorites like Summertime Rendering and Decadence. That list of anime fills me with confidence that Hiroshi is very capable of adapting the pacing from page to screen. To a certain extent, the pace of certain moments in manga is set by the readers. So deciding how much or how little screen time a certain moment from a manga gets is pretty important, as it can change the impact of a certain moment completely. Another aspect of an adaptation that sells the impact of a moment is Kensuke Oshino is responsible for music on the Dandadan anime, and Kensuke Oshino has created quite the resume for himself in the anime industry with his incredible music. Working on music for anime such as Chainsaw Man, Space Dandy, Heavenly Delusion, and A Silent Voice. The only thing these anime share is that they're all anime. Each of these anime have a different tone, from the harsh, unpredictable sounds of Chainsaw Man to the bubbly and cheery sounds of words bubble up like soda pop. Kensuke Oshino is able to find a sound for each project that fits the anime's world beautifully. What I'm really excited about though is what artist is going to create the opening song for Dandadan. To my knowledge, Asarashi Gakko hasn't made an anime opening or had one of their songs used for one. But I feel like their music would fit Dandadan's energy really well. Go listen to Jana Indayo or Candy and tell me you can't imagine it being Dandadan's opening song. Atarime janai deyo, atarime janai deyo. Manga often has more detail than anime. Anime can't look like this all the time because anime usually has to move. So to translate this to anime with the same detail would require the poor animators to draw this picture and the pictures leading up to this picture. So translating these detailed characters to a more animation-friendly design is important, but you can't change it too much or you might risk losing the identity of those said characters. Naoki Ando is a seasoned animator who has been in the anime industry as early as 1981, getting his start as an in-betweener on Dr. Slump. He's worked on a lot of anime since then, and even though he's often credited as an animator on most of his projects, he has some experience as a character designer as well. A lot of the anime he's done character design work for usually leans into a more realistic design. As a matter of fact, 2 of the character design jobs Ando worked on were anime adaptations of Hiraya Oka's work, being Godsend and Inuyashiki. Thankfully, we don't really need to speculate what Dandadan characters designed by him would look like though. Here's Yukinobu Tatsu's Okarun, and here is Okarun's anime depiction designed by Naoki Ando. I don't think this particular drawing really shows off Okarun's aura like Tatsu's drawings of him usually do, but That's what the anime is going to be for. I'll be honest, when I saw the trailer, seeing a Momo with hair that was colored flat without the level of detail found in the manga caught me off guard a bit. And it's not that I dislike the flat color. I love when this technique is used in animation. Like everything that Mamoru Hosoda directs, I freaking love. Like the One Piece movie, of course Summer Wars and The Girl Who Leapt Through Time, those all use very limited flat colors, and I love that style. I just didn't expect that to be the direction for Dandadan. I'm not hating it, it's just I wasn't expecting it. But I was aware that that level of detail shouldn't be expected. And I think that, quote, lack of detail really allows the vivid colors seen on Dandadan's covers to shine through the anime. What I thought was interesting is that character design and creature design are two separate roles filled with two separate staff. While Ando works on human designs, Yoshimichi Kameda is a creature designer. Dandadan being a series that has so many monsters and aliens, I think it's great that creature designs is their own separate role. Getting someone to specialize in that specifically. And Yoshimichi Kameda is one of my favorite animators in the anime industry right now. If you've seen Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Naruto, Ring of Kings, or Mob Psycho 100, it's easy to see why. One of the most important parts of a good adaptation is finding the right voice for characters who were created without one. Well, a literal voice, you know what I mean. Mayumi Tanaka has been voice acting in the anime industry since 1977 and is the voice of freaking Monkey D. Luffy. She's now voicing Turbo Granny. When Mayumi Tanaka was asked why she's excited to play Turbo Granny, she said, quote, "I'm also a greedy old woman. So when I heard about the role, I thought, I want to play this role." That's enough for me. Voicing Momo as Wakayama Shion. Most of her roles have been supporting or minor, but her most prominent roles include Ai from Gohan's anime with that crazy point of view shot, and Takina from Licorice Recoil, who I love, and I love this anime, and Wakayama absolutely killed it in that show. Voicing Takakura Okarun Ken is Hane Natsuki, who has voiced characters such as Falco, Bochan, Tanjiro, and Shinpei, my goat. Read or watch Summertime Rendering. Like Mayumi Tanaka, another industry veteran will be lending his voice to Dandadan, who has been voicing characters in anime since 1995, voicing Sherpo. He also shares the voice booth on the set of One Piece with Miss Mayumi because Kazuya is the voice of none other than Roronoa Zoro, and yeah, the Kung Fu Dugong too. So yeah, a pretty stacked cast with some OGs blending with some new favorites, but I'm admittedly very curious about the English dub cast, man. English is my first and only language, which may come as a shock given how terribly I speak it, and if you think I'm kidding, it literally took me like 10 takes to say that just one sentence. So I'm dying to know if the directors hear the same voice in their head as I do when they read Dandadan. Also, who's voicing Seiko? Listen, I promise not to be weird about it. Dandadan is going to be Fuga Yamashiro's first foray as a director. Now before you come at me, yes, Yamashiro has been an episode director on projects like Keep Your Hands Up Aizuken and the Tatami Time Machine Blues. The difference being an episode director is the director of specific episodes, while a director is responsible for the vision of the entire production. So while Fuga has been an episode director on the mentioned projects, there was still a director he had to answer to. Unfortunately, I have no frame of reference for his work as I have not seen any of them, and frankly, he is fairly new to the anime industry. His earliest credit is only in 2017 as a production assistant on Night is Short, Walk On Girl. Again, I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard about it, not a bad way to break in at all. Listen guys, I am so excited for the Dandadan anime, and while writing this video, it was announced that the anime will be broken into 2 cores, so 24 episodes of Dandadan goodness with a little break in between. With the team that they revealed has me so giddy, and that's not even the whole staff. I'm excited to see what talented animators will join the team to bring Dandadan's iconic double-page spread action to life. And, please let me know if I'm becoming predictable, Seiko's voice actor. We're still waiting on that.